English 111. This is Eugenia Bowers here with my career research project. The career that I researched would be accounting. More specifically, I looked up accounts receivable through Wells Fargo. I can start with a brief description. To me, the most simple way to describe accounting basically is it's like paying bills and balancing a checkbook, just on a larger scale for businesses. Sometimes it is personal accounts and things like that. So I'll walk through what a typical day is. I was able to get an interview with a senior Wells Fargo accounts receivable employee. She had been with the company for 12 years and was able to give me a really good insight on things. So at the beginning of the day, what she would start by doing is seeing how many checks that she has. She can get anywhere from 10 checks, which would be a good, slow, easy flow, to 89 checks, which would be a very busy, pretty stressful day. So what she does is she goes and gets these checks. She separates the checks by which states that they're going to belong into. And then what she does is she goes in and she makes sure that the checks are even. When I say that, I mean that let's say she has a check that says that it is a debit for let's say the debit is for $19.25. Okay, so once she sees this debit for $19.25, she needs to go in and check and find where there is a credit for the same company for that $19 and change. So it's basically just making sure that everything is even and that there are no mistakes. Once she checks for mistakes and addresses any errors with the necessary departments, then she posts these checks so that all departments can see them. There are 3 major departments, which are the accounts receivable, accounts payable, and the direct bill. So she works for the receivable side. She works mostly with the direct bill. They need her information first before anybody, and that's who she checks in with. So once she posts all these checks, she's pretty much done for the day. But during the course of her posting these checks, all these departments are coming to her to ask her for confirmations. So basically the accountant is the one who just makes sure that all the money is being properly spent and it is going where it should go, and there's no major debt or any issues as far as that. They protect the company against will try to protect the company against bankruptcy and things like that. They typically will have a 40-hour work week. She says that working with Wells Fargo, she works Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. I love the stability of that. I have been doing factory work for the last 7 years, and I mean the hours can vary, working weekends, holidays, things like that. So this career is so stable. It's just wonderful. So some of the necessary skills that would be needed for accounting, you need to be very organized. Organization is very important because, like I said, it's like making sure that everything is done properly. If things aren't organized, it'll be hard to find that other half. You know, if you're looking for that debit, trying to find that credit, if everything is all out of whack, it's going to take a really long time and it's going to be drawn out. So organization is very important. Another thing that is extremely important is being trustworthy. You are handling people's money. Any time that you're handling money, you need to be trustworthy. I think that is very high on the scale. In the media and things, we hear a lot of, we hear about those not so trustworthy accountants, and it's not a good look. So another important skill would be, you need to be able to double task. She said that as she's working on getting these checks posted, she's having multiple emails. She's having people instant message her. They're stopping by her desk. They're calling her with many questions. So being able to stop and answer a question and continue posting checks is something that would be very important. You know, a key skill that she said that you would need. Advice that I was given was to stay focused and always ask questions. Never ever feel like you can't ask questions, because working for a company like Wells Fargo, it's a big company. I mean, working anywhere, you really want to avoid error as much as possible. So it's always best to ask and get it done right, instead of making that mistake and then going back and having to fix it. Another good suggestion that she was able to give me was to start, get my foot into the bank, which I really didn't think about this before. And I'm glad that she brought it to my attention. I think that it would be a good idea. She said that it would be great to start as maybe a bank teller. Oh, excuse me, guys. And I'm going to follow that advice. I have been applying, and thought that was a really good tidbit that she gave me. Now, I think that this is going to be a great fit for me, just because, like I had mentioned earlier, I have been doing factory work for quite some time. I don't mind it, but I am like yearning for something that is much more professional. I love a professional environment. I love keeping things organized. I am really good with double tasking. And personally, I've always handled my own taxes. I've always balanced my own checkbook. It's very important to me. You know, I always keep my receipts and make sure that at the end of the week, I'm checking my account and making sure that everything is balanced. So I feel like this will be a really good fit for me, because I already do these things on a smaller scale. And I have an ultimate goal of becoming a business owner one day, and I feel that understanding the financial aspects of things is really going to give me a really good advantage, I feel like, because I know a lot of business owners or people that have owned businesses, and you know, 50% of the time what goes wrong is that you know, the finances weren't properly handled, and you know, they weren't able to keep business. So I think that it's great that I can learn for myself what it is I need to do, and that'll really help me be more of a successful business owner. I have here some fun facts about accounting that I found very, very interesting. My first fun fact will be that the world's first accountant originated in Mesopotamia. My second fun fact will be that most of the terms do have Latin roots. It may not come as much of a surprise. My third fun fact would be that Mick Jagger, Janet Jackson, and Annie Isgard studied accounting. That was interesting. And my fourth and final most interesting fun fact is that bubblegum was invented by an accountant. I do not have many concerns as far as, well, my one concern is is the statistics class that I will be taking here very soon. I've never done anything like that. That's the one thing that concerns me a little, but I feel like I'll definitely pull through. So that would also go into the skills that I would need to develop better, would be just sharper math skills. Some skills that I think that will help me is that I can recognize patterns very easily. That's always been something that has been simple for me. And to the sound of things, in the way that Miss Carrie was describing everything, it really is pretty much just looking for patterns and making sure that everything's matching up. So I think that I will be just fine as soon as I figure out the laws behind everything and all the rules, and I get used to it. I think I'll do well. So my research has actually affirmed everything. Because at first I was feeling a little nervous. I felt like maybe I wouldn't be a good fit, especially when I'm coming from doing a lot of physical and manual labor. Very, very different career path. But I feel like it's really where I want to go. It's really what I want. I was finding information on like salaries and things like that. An accountant in North Carolina makes anywhere between $12 to $56 an hour. I love the fact that there's such a range and such a opportunity for growth. That's really one thing that really has me very interested. I'm a very driven person, and I always want to feel like I can do more and I can be greater. So I feel like this career is going to give me the chance to start off small and really work my way up to something really big and really great. I do plan on continuing my degree with accounting, and I do plan on making this my career. I hope that I was able to give you guys some really good information and it will help you out. I had a really great time with this class. I've learned a lot, valuable skills that I can take with me all throughout the rest of my path here. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.